Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil?
Doth Job fear God for naught? Hast thou not made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on all sides? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased. But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face.
Behold, all that he has is in thy power.
Only
upon himself put not forth thy hand.
Look, Joe, look, across the street. 2 soldiers.
What about them?
Why would they stare so?
Stare at what?
The house. I think they're drunk.
Plastered.
One of them, anyway. He wobbles.
That's no wobble. That is our wall step.
They're crossing over.
You sure are.
What do you think they... What do you think they want? 2 soldiers.
No idea. Johnson will tend to them.
Never seen such staring eyes.
Glazed. Just glazed.
Come on, ringing. I know what it is, JB. They have some kind of message for us. David is sitting with a message, something about his regiment. They're coming every day now, ship by ship. I hear them in the harbor coming. He couldn't write, and so he sent them.
Pretty drunk for messengers.
Oh, what does it matter? They're just boys. They just got home. It doesn't matter.
Johnson will handle them. He's a judge of drunks.
Oh, he mustn't send them off. Don't let him.
2 young gentlemen to see you, friends, they say, of Mr. David.
I knew.
That's totem, pussfoot. Pussface.
Come in, gentlemen. Come in. David's friends are always welcome. This is David's mother.
Won't you sit down?
What I tell you, punk? Any friends of David's? I told you that boy meant it. What'd I say when I see the joint? That's the number, punk, I told you. All 10-20, that's the number. 20 if you're man, he told us. 10 for horses, what the hell? They always say we're friends. Pardon the language, lady.
There, sit down.
It's just, we saw the number.
And David asked you to drop in.
Any friend of his, anytime. And we were cold. Hard march. What the hell's the matter with you, you drunk?
There, sit by the fire, both of you. Where was he?
Where was who?
David.
When?
When he told you.
In the mess. Any friend of his, he said, anytime. Why, you think we're lying to you?
Certainly not.
You think we never knew him?
Of course you do.
We knew him.
Rumbling among the faces. Knew him. Night. Our fingers numb.
Would you shut up or will I clout you, big mouth? That's why we come. Because we knew him. To tell you how we knew him.
Thank you.
How it was with him.
Listen, punk.
How? By night? By chance? Darkling? By the dark of chance?
He's drunk.
How? The war done. The guns silent. No one knows who gave the order.
Like I say, because he said to. Any friend of his, he said to. Just to tell you we knew David. Maybe drink to David, maybe.
Yes. Oh, yes. Let's drink to David. JB?
Bourbon, scotch.
Now you're cooking. Take your pants off, punk. We're in.
Oh, that's right. Put your feet up. They're not too dirty. David's are dirtier, I'm sure of that.
David's feet? I'll say they are. Look, what's this? David's feet.
I meant with all the marching.
I don't get it. Look, it's true they didn't have the right length lumber. We did the best we could.
What in God's name are you saying, soldier?
What does he mean, the lumber?
You don't know. Ain't that the army for you? They don't know. They never told them.
Told us what?
We better go.
No, please.
Come on, we're getting out of here, one kid.
No.
Jeez.
Now,
Jeez.
Dave told me. Sarah, perhaps you'd better...
I want to hear it.
I only am escaped alone to tell thee. My tongue loosened by drink. My thoughts darkened as by wind the water. That day is lost where it befell.
What is it? We were never told.
True, you little drunken liar! It can't be true! We had a letter from him after the end of it. We had a letter!
What shall I say to you? What I saw, what I believe I saw, or what I must have seen and have forgotten.
David is our son! Our son! Our son!
That's the tune. He's ours. Go on with it. Can't be happening to us. Can't be. God won't let it happen, not to our kind. God won't.
Sarah, David's all right. He has to be. He is. I know he is. The war's over. It never could happen. Never. Never in this world.
Couldn't it? Ask him. Couldn't it? Suppose it did, though. What would the world be made of then?
I only am escaped alone. Companions, fallen, fallen, fallen. The earth's smell remembers that there was a man.
Joe, he's dead! God has taken him!
You'll do fine.
I wish I were home to bed as a good boy or something. I don't like it.
You'll do fine.
I won't do fine. I'm frightened.
All you do, you go up to them, you get them talking, keep them looking.
Go up to them yourself, why not?
Sure, and get the brush off. Girl like you can keep them talking. Keep them looking, that is, pretty girl.
Well, I don't like it.
You'll get used to it.
Not where I work. Not society. Society pays they never die. Girl gets asked. Girl gets married. Girl gets photographed in nightclub. Girl gets older. Girl gets off. Never catch them dead on society.
Like the robins.
Yeah, like Robins.
Why the robins?
Never see one dead.
No sparrows, neither.
Either.
Never hardly. Must be millions.
Hardly ever see one dead.
What happens to them?
They get over it.
Over what?
Over being there.
Well, all I know is I don't like it. Keep them talking till a flashbulb smacks them naked in the face. It's horrible.
It's genius. Listen, lady, how do I get the photograph of that? Answer me that. How do I get the look on a mother's face as maybe once in a lifetime, just before her mouth knows, when her eyes are knowing?
Well, I can't do it.
She can't do it. All you got to do is walk. Look if you can. Keep them looking. Then he tells them. Then I take them. Then you beat it. Then that's that. Except the drink we're going to buy you. Payday evening if you're good. And if you're not, there's lots of liars.
You don't have to tell them, I do.
Why do you?
Because I have to. I'm the one that has to tell them.
Why?
Oh,
Why?
there's always someone has to tell them, isn't there?
Well, someone else can.
No, there's always someone chosen by the chance of seeing, by the accident of sight, by stumbling upon the moments of it, unprepared, unwarned, unready, thinking of nothing, of his bed, his belly, his drink. And it happens, and he sees it, caught in that inextricable net of having seen, having witnessed, he alone.
But you don't have to. Why does he have to?
It was I only, I alone. The moment closed us together in its gaping grin of horrible incredulity. I saw their eyes see mine. We saw each other.
He has to. He was there. He saw it. Route 2. Under the viaduct. Traveling 70, 75. Keep driving and was drunk. Had to be drunk. Just drove into it. He was walking home. He saw it. Saw it start to. Saw it had to. Saw it. JB's son, his daughter. For it all, and all just kids. They shrieked like kids, he said.
Then silence. Blonde in all that blood, that daughter.
He can't tell them that.
He has to. Someone has to. They don't know. They've been out all evening somewhere.
They don't have to know.
They have to.
No!
That's them. They're coming quiet.
I can't do it.
You can do it.
I only. I alone to tell thee. I who have understood nothing, have known nothing, have been answered nothing.
Good evening. Pleasant evening. Back from the theater so soon. We're neighbors, don't you know? You've met my Mifkin walking me to morning. You know, Muff, my purple poodle. Isn't it a pleasant evening?
I'm from the press. There's been an accident. 4 kids in the car. They're dead. 2 of yours, your son, your daughter. Cops have got them in a cab. Any minute now, they'll be here.
Don't look, cover your face!
You! Where are you going? I'll fix the trailer now! Answer me! Answer me!
It wasn't they that did it! Why did he do it to them? What have they done to him? Those children, what have they done to him? And we, what have we done? What have we done?
Don't. Sarah, don't. It doesn't help to think that.
Nothing helps. Nothing can help them now.
It happened.
Yes, and who let it happen?
Shall we take the good and not the evil? We have to take the chances, Sarah. Evil with good. It doesn't mean there is no good.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Go on. Go on. That path will lead you.
When you were lucky, it was God.
Sticks and stone and steel are chances. There's no will in stone or steel. It happens to us.
No! Don't touch me!
Ready?
Got to be, don't they?
I meant you.
They've got no choice. Disaster or death. Mankind are always ready. Ready for anything that hurts.
And you?
I too, I too.
Oh, provided someone else will bleed the blood and wipe the blinded eye.
I watch your world go round.
Oh, it must be wearing.
No, it's got its compensations. Even the perfect and the upright man learns if you turn long enough. At first he thought it wasn't happening, couldn't be happening, not to him. Not with you in the stratosphere, tooting the blue trombone for the moon to dance. And he thought it chanced by chance. Childish hypothesis, of course. Nevertheless, hypothesis, a start. A pair of tongues to take the toad by. Recognition, it is a toad. Not quite comfort, but still comfortable. Took the hook in the gills and eases it in a little. He'll learn.
Learn what?
Your purpose for him.
Oh, keep your tongue in your teeth, will you? Wait a minute, wait a minute. Where are you off to?
Oh, for a bit of a walk on the earth for my health or somebody's. You know, up and down in the earth, back and forth in it.
Leave him alone.
He needs a helping hand. You've learned that. A nudge from an old professional.
Leave him alone. He can't act and you know it.
He doesn't have to act. He suffers. It's an old role played like a mouth organ. Any idiot on earth given enough breath can breather it. Given enough tears can weep. All he needs is a little help to see.
See what?
The bloody drumstick striking. See who lets it strike the drum.
Wait for me, I'm coming down.
Sorry to have to question you like this. We got to get the story.
Go on.
Turning your house into a...
No. Go on, it doesn't matter.
Nothing matters but to know.
How many children?
2.
Girls?
My boys are dead.
Girls. Names?
Ruth, Rebecca.
Ruth is the oldest now.
And you last saw them?
Ruth?
It's Rebecca is missing!
He knows that.
No, it's God that knows! She's the littlest one. It's gone.
How long ago?
Oh, hours.
And you reported it?
Yes.
When?
1 o'clock. Quarter after. We looked everywhere for her, of course. And then we thought, I thought, if somebody, maybe the telephone would ring.
And you do better on your own.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes! We believe in our luck in this house. We've earned the right to. We believe in it. All the bad.
That's playing it. That's playing it. If God is will and will is well, then what is ill? God still. Do tell.
Ain't nobody telephoned.
Nobody telephoned.
Dressed. How was she dressed?
White.
White. You saw her, glimmering in the twilight.
What?
All but her shoes.
Her shoes. For what?
Red.
Rebecca have a toy umbrella.
Parasol?
Little red toy umbrella.
Parasol? Yes, she might have had one.
You mean she owned one?
Yes, it belonged to a big doll we bought her once. Scarlet silk, opened and closed. She kept it when the doll gave out. She used to take it to bed with her even. Open it and close it.
You found the parasol?
What will it tell you? Will it tell you why?
I asked you, have you found the parasol?
Ask him, he'll tell you. He's the one. Can the tooth among the stones make answer? Can the 7 bones reply? Out in the desert, in the tombs or potter's figures. 2 of warriors, 2 of worthies, 2 of camels, 2 of monsters, 2 of horses. Ask them why! They will not answer you. Death is a bone that stammers, a tooth among the flints that has forgotten.
Ask him. Has he found the parasol?
We don't know. He found an umbrella. Doll's umbrella. Red.
Where?
Nothing else? Just an umbrella?
Tell them, will you? Just past midnight, pounding his beat by the back of the lumberyard. Someone runs and he yells and they stumble. Big kid, 19 maybe, hot to the eyes and scared. Scared bloodless, he can barely breathe. Constable yanks him up by the breeches. All right, take me to it. Just a shot in the dark. Kid was so scared there had to be something. Well, he takes him to it. Back of the lumber trucks beside the tracks.
Go on.
She had a red umbrella. That was all she had. But shoes. Red shoes and a toy umbrella. It was tight in her fist when he found her. Still.
Let me see the umbrella.
Constable will show it to you.
Oh, my pretty,
Now's the time to say it, mister.
Leave him alone.
Lord, giveth. The Lord, take it away.
Go on. Go on. Finish it. Finish it.
What's there to finish? He said it.
Go on.
To what? To where? He said it. Now he knows. Now he knows who takes, and now he knows who gives.
Look. Look up.
That's your direction.
Look. The staring stars.
Or only lights, not men. You're mad. You lost your mind. You're maundering. Maundering.
Let's get back where we belong.
Go on.
No, you.
Oh, all right. Together.
She said she lived around here somewhere. This is all there is.
Sarah?
Where do you want her?
Sarah!
On the floor? You
Sarah!
got a floor. You're lucky we got a floor.
Where was she?
Underneath the wall. He heard her. Underneath the wall, calling. Tell him what you heard her.
Ruth. Ruth.
Nobody answered. Nobody could have. You been down there? Whole block's gone. Bank block, all of it. JB's bank, you know. Just gone. Nothing left to show it ever. Just the hole. JB's millions. That's a laugh now. JB's millions? All he's got is just the hole. Plant went too. All of it. Everything. Ask him. Just the hole. He'll tell you.
Ruth! Ruth! David, Jonathan, Mary, Ruth, I cannot say the last.
Rebecca.
David, Jonathan, Mary, Ruth.
You didn't find there wasn't.
Tell him. Tell him what you heard.
I heard 2 words. I don't know what they mean. I brought them to you like a pair of pebbles picked up on a path or a pair of beads that might belong to somebody.
There wasn't anyone beside?
only, and escaped alone to tell thee.
David, Jonathan, Harry, Ruth.
Sarah, listen to me, Sarah. Even desperate, we can't despair. Sink numb into that dumb silence. Soul and our cold selves drown there. We cannot. God is there too in the desperation. I do not know why God should strike, but God is what is stricken also. Life is what despairs in death, and desperate is life still. Sarah! Do not let my hand go! Sarah! Sarah, say it after me. The Lord giveth. Say it!
The Lord giveth.
The Lord taketh away.
Takes, kills, kills, kills,
Blessed be the name of the Lord.
Well, my friend, you see the position. You see how it comes out in the end. Your fears were quite unfounded, weren't they?
My fears for you?
For me? For me? Why should you fear for me?
I can't think.
For him.
That Ham?
Ham?
Ham!
And you've been telling me over and over that isn't acting even, but living, breathing.
Man can muck up his life as badly as his lines, and even louder. In it or out of it, he's Ham. He wouldn't understand if 20,000 suffocating creatures shrieked and tore their tongues out at him, choking in a bombed-out town. He'd be thankful.
I think he understood it perfectly. That great yea saying for the world was wonderful. That wounded, deliberate amen. Affirmation.
Affirmation. Ever watch the worms affirming? Ever hear the hogs, amen, just when the knife begins to hurt? Death is good for you. It makes you glisten. Get the large economy container. 5 for the price of 1. You think it's wonderful. I think it stinks. One daughter raped and murdered by some idiot, another crushed by stones. 2 children smeared across the road at midnight by a drunken child. And all with God's foreknowledge and consent. And he blesses God. It's indecent. It's immorally. It's disgusting. His weeping wife in her despair, and he beside her on his trembling ham bones, praising God. It's nauseating.
You don't lose gracefully, do you?
I don't lose.
You have.
That's not the end of it.
But that's how it ends.
Could have.
What do you mean?
Would have if God had been content with his poor crawling victory. But he isn't. Still he must pursue. Still he must follow. Hunt his creature through his branching veins in agony until no peace is left him. One blazing day of pain. Corner him. Compel the answer. He cannot rest until he wrings the proof of pain, the ultimate certainty. God always asks the proof of pain.
And Job in his affliction gives it.
No, God overreaches in the end. Follows too far, pursues too fearfully. Seals him in his sack of skin, scalds the skin to crust and squeeze the answer out. But Job evades it.
Oh, who can evade the will of God? It waits at every door we open. What does Dante say? His will.
Don't chant that chill equation at
His
me.
will, our peace.
Will was never peace, no matter whose will, whose peace. Will is rule. Surrender is surrender. You make your peace. You don't give in to it. Job will make his own cold peace when God pursues him too far in the web. Implacable, eternal spider. A man can always cease. It's something, a judgment anyway. Reject the whole creation with a stale pink pill.
But world is will. Job can't reject it.
God that doesn't understand what a man can do. Once his body hurts, once pain has penned him into where only pain has room to breathe, he learns. He learns to spit his broken teeth out, to spit the dirty world out. Spit!
And that's the end of everything, to spit?
It's been on the other end of physical pain, of agony, of suffering. God prepares for all his creatures.
Is it better? Is it better? Job suffered and praised God. Would it be better for Job to sleep among the clods of earth in ignorance?
Yes, when his body suffers.
His suffering will praise.
Yes, when his suffering is him.
Well, we still have time to see.
Put on your mask.
Put on your own.
Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there's none like him on the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil? And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause.
Who said that?
They want us to go on.
Who?
He does.
Who does?
He was asking you.
A prompter somewhere. Those were your lines he was saying, weren't they?
Yes, but...
Anybody there?
They want us to go on, I told you.
I know they want us to go on, but I don't want to.
We began it. And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause.
Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But touch his flesh and his bone now, and he will curse thee to thy face.
Behold, all that he has is in thine hand, but save his life.
Never fails. Count on you to make a mess of it. Every blessed blundering time you hit at one man, you blast thousands. Think of that flood of yours. A disaster. Now you fumbled it again. Tumble the whole city down to blister one man's skin with agony. Think of your works. Those shivering women, sheltering under any crumbling heap. Weeping to keep the sky out.
That's him.
Who's him?
Grab her, Dolly.
Who did she say it was?
Him, she said it was. Poor soul.
Look at them sores on him.
Don't look, child. You remember them.
Every sore I seen, I remember.
Who did she say? She said it was.
Him?
That's his wife.
She's pretty.
Ain't she? Look like someone we see.
Oh, I don't believe you would have seen her. Picture, possibly. Her picture. Posed in the penthouse.
Puce with pants.
No, the negligee.
The net.
The simple silk.
Oh, law with sequins. Here's a place to park your poodle. Nice, cool flow.
Shovel.
God, let me die.
You think he'd help you even to that? God is our enemy.
No, Sarah. Don't say that. God has something hidden from our hearts to show.
She knows. She's looking at it.
Try to sleep.
You should have kept it hidden.
Sleep now.
You don't have to see it. I do.
Yes, I know.
He knows. He's back behind it. And he knows if he could see what she can see, there's something else he might be knowing.
Once I knew a charm for sleeping. Not as forgetfulness, but gift. Not as sleep, but second sight. Come and from my eyelids, lift the dead of night.
The dead of night. Coming from my eyelids, lift the dead of night.
Out of sleep, something of our own comes back to us. A drowned man's garment from the sea.
Poor thing. Poor thing. Not a chick nor a child between them.
First their daughters, then their sons.
First son first, blew into pieces. More mischance it was than war. Asleep on their feet in the frost, they walked into it.
Two at the vine. That makes three.
Charlie saw the picture. The picture!
Don't let him, you keep
Want to know the whole of the
Never do it when you look at them. Never!
The magazines, they're awful. Which?
And after that, the little one.
Who in the world are they talking about? The little one. What are they talking about?
I don't know. Somebody died by death, it must be.
Him it must be.
Who's him?
You know who.
You remember the
Hush,
tragedy?
the child!
Back of the lumber yard.
Oh, him.
Who did you think it was? Penthouse and negligees, daughters and dying.
Him? That's him, that millionaire. Mwah.
Millionaires? He buys like cabbages.
He couldn't buy cabbages now by the look of him, the rags he's got on.
Look at them swords.
And all that's left him now is her.
Still, that's something. A good woman.
What good is a woman to him with that hide on him? Or he to her, if you think of it.
Don't!
Can you blame her?
I don't blame her. All I say is she's no comfort. She won't cuddle.
Really, Mrs.?
Murphy, call me. What's got into you?
Nothing recently I have.
You're not so young yourself, my woman. Who's your woman? Oh, Murphy's.
None of us are maids entirely.
Maids and mortals, some might be.
Who might? You might. You're historical.
I never slept a night in history.
I have. My mind goes back. None of that. We have a child here. How far? I often wonder. Farther than the first, but where?
What do you care? It's a lovely country. Roll a little nearer, dear, and your backside's frozen.
You smell of roses.
Neither do you, but you're warm.
Well, good night, ladies.
Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies.
I'm going to leave you now.
If you can only sleep a little. Now they're quiet. Now they're still.
I try, but oh, I close my eyes. And eyes are open there to meet me. Babies, my poor babies.
Go to sleep.
Go! Go where? If there were darkness, I would go there. If there were night, I'd lay me down in it. But God has shut the night against me. God has set the dark alight with horror blazing behind his day when I go towards it. Close my eyes.
I know those waking eyes. His will is everywhere against us, even in our sleep, our dreams.
Your will, his peace. Doesn't seem to grasp it, does he? Give him another needling twinge between the withers and the works. He'll understand you better.
If I knew why.
If he knew why, he wouldn't be there. He'd be strangling, drowning, suffocating, diving for a sidewalk somewhere.
What I can't bear is the blindness, meaninglessness, the numb blow fallen in the stumbling night.
Has death no meaning? Pain no meaning? Even these suppurating sores, have they no meaning for you?
God will not punish without cause. God is just.
God is just. If God is just, our slaughtered children stank with sin. We're rotten with it. Oh, my dear, my dear, my dear. Does God demand deception of us? Purchases innocence by ours. Must we be guilty for him? Bear the burden of the world's malevolence for him who made the world?
He knows the guilt is mine. He must know. Has he not punished it? He knows its name, its time, its face, its circumstance, the figure of its day, the room, the door, the opening of a door, the moment.
Do you? You do not know it. Your punishment is all you know. I will not stay here if you lie, connive in your destruction, cringe to it. Not if you betray my children. I will not stay to listen. They are dead! They were innocent. I will not let you sacrifice their deaths to make injustice. Justice and God good.
My heart beats. I cannot answer it.
If you buy quiet with their innocence, there's or yours. I will not love you.
I have no choice to be guilty.
We have the choice, all of us, to live or die. Curse God and die.
God is God, or we are nothing. Mayflies that leave their husks behind. Our tiny lives ridiculous. A suffering not even sad that someone somewhere laughs at. As we laugh at apes. We have no choice but to be guilty. God, it's unthinkable if we are innocent.
What did I say? I said she'd walk out on him, did she? His hide was too much for her.
His hide or his heart?
The hide comes between.
The heart is the stranger.
Oh, strange. It's always strange the heart is, only it's the skin we ever know.
Sarah, why do you not speak to me? Sarah!
Now he knows. And he's alone.
Show me my guilt. Oh, God!
His guilt. His. You heard that, didn't you? He wants to feel the feel of guilt, that putrid poultice of the soul that draws the poison in, not out. Inverted catheter. You going to show him? Well, Yahweh, you going to show him? Where are those cold comforters of yours who justify the ways of God to Job by making Job responsible? Those three upholders of the world, defenders of the universe, where are they? Must be almost time for comfort.
If I had perished from the womb, not having been, death cannot heal me. Death will leave my having been behind it, like a bear's foot mastering in a trap.
Ah, the scavengers.
3 old pokey crows, they look like.
They are too. It's the smell of the suffering. See that leather-backed old bucket? Kind of character you hear from on Sundays in a public park, pounding the hell out of everything. You know.
I know. Wall Street. Bakers. Bankers.
All the answers in a book.
Ruski's got them all. The answers.
Characters like that, they smell the human smell of heartsick misery, farther than a kite smells carrion.
Who's the cop?
Some spoiled priest.
They can smell it farther even.
Not as far as deadbeat doctors. They're the nosies. Let 'em nose. Oh, I'm halfway over, drowning down and down. I can hear the seagulls singing soundings in the sea.
Well, pound your ears, sit up your moorings. I'm none.
Come alongside, dear.
That doctor one, he makes me creepy.
Keep a thumb on your thoughts or he'll diddle them.
Let him try, he'll lose an eyeball. Watch your sweet piece of people.
Who was she? All gore, all story. Dabbled in a deep blood sea. And what she washed in, that was she.
Some Queen of Scotland.
Queen of Scones.
God, my God, my God, what have I done?
Fair question, big boy. Anyone answer you yet? No answer?
That was answered long ago. Long ago.
In dreams are answers. How do your dreams go, big boy? Tell.
Is someone there? Where? My eyes too fail me in this little light. Who is there? I know how ludicrous I must look, covered with rags, my skin pustulant. I know how others see me. Why have you come?
For comfort, big boy. Didn't you ring?
That's for comfort.
All the comforts you can find.
All the kinds of.
All the comforts.
You called us and we came.
I called God.
Didn't you?
Didn't you just? Why should God reply to you from the blue depths of his eternity? Blind depths of his unconsciousness.
Blank depths of his necessity.
God is far above in mystery. God is far below in mindlessness.
God is far within in history. Why should God have time for you?
The hand of God has touched me. Look at me. Every hope I've ever had, every task I put my mind to, every work I've ever done, annulled as though I had not done it. My trace extinguished in the land, my children dead, my father's name obliterated under the sunlight forever. Love has too left me.
Love? Huh. What's love to him? One man's misery.
If I'm innocent?
Innocent? Innocent? Nations shall perish in their innocence. Classes shall perish in their innocence. Young men in slaughtered cities offering their silly throats against the tanks in innocence shall perish. What's your innocence to theirs? God is history. If you offend him, will not history dispense with you? History has no time for innocence.
God is just. We are not squeezed naked through a ridiculous orifice, like bulls into a blazing ring to blunder here by blindfold laws we can never learn or can. Deceived by stratagems or fooled by feints, for sport, for nothing, till we fall, we're pricked so badly.
Screw your justice. History is justice. Time inexorably turned to truth. Not for one man, for humanity. One man's life won't measure on it. One man's suffering won't count, no matter what his suffering. But all will. At the end, there will be justice. Justice for all. Justice for everyone. On the way, it doesn't matter.
Guilt matters. Guilt must always matter. Unless guilt matters, the whole world is meaningless. God, too, is nothing.
You may be guiltier than hell as history counts guilt and not one smudging thumbprint on your conscience. Guilt is a sociological accident. Wrong class, wrong century. You pay for your luck with your licks, that's all.
Come, come, come. Guilt is a psychophenomenal situation, an illusion, a disease, a sickness. That filthy feeling at the fingers, scent of dung beneath the nails.
Guilt is illusion. Guilt is reality. The only reality there is. All mankind are guilty. Always.
The fall of man, it felled us all.
No doubt, ye are the people, and wisdom shall die with you. I am bereaved, in pain, desperate, and you mock me. There was a time when men found pity, finding each other in the night, misery to walk with misery. Brother whose brother guilt could be conceived and recognized. We have forgotten pity.
No, we have surmounted guilt. It's quite different, isn't it? You know the difference. Science knows now that the sentient spirit floats like the chambered nautilus upon a sea that drifts it under skies that drive. Below, the sea of the subconscious. Above, the winds that wind the world. Caught between that sky, that sea, self has no will, cannot be guilty. The sea drifts. The sky drives. The tiny shining bladder of the soul washes with wind and wave, or shudders shattered between them.
Blasphemy.
Nonsense.
There is no guilt, my men. We are all victims of guilt, not guilty. We kill the king in ignorance. The voice reveals we blind ourselves. At our beginning, in the inmost room, each one of us, disgusting monster changed by the chilling moon to child, violates his mother. Are we guilty? Our guilt is underneath the Sibyl's stone, not known.
I'd rather suffer every unspeakable suffering God sends, knowing it was I that earned the need to suffer. I that acted, I that chose, that washed my hands with yours in that defiling innocence. Can we be men and make an irresponsible ignorance responsible for everything? I will not listen to you.
But you will. You will.
Ah, my son. How well you said that. How well you said it. Without guilt, what is a man? An animal, isn't he? A wolf, forgiven at his meat. A beetle, innocent in his copulation. What divides us from the universe of blood and seed, conceives the soul in us, brings us to God, but guilt. The lion dies of death. We die of suffering. The lion vanishes. Our souls accept eternities of reparation. But for our guilt, we too would vanish. Bundles of corrupting bones, bagged in a hairless hide and rotten. Happy the man whom God corrected. He tastes his guilt, his hope begins. He is in league with the stones in certainty.
Teach me, and I will hold my tongue. Show me my transgressions.
No. No, my son, you show me. Search your inmost heart. Question it. Guilt is a deceptive secret. The labor often of years, a work conceived in infancy, brought to birth in unpredictable forms he is after. At 12, the palpable elder brother. At 17, perhaps, the servant, seen by the lamp by accident.
My sin. Teach me my sin, my wickedness. Surely, iniquity that suffers judgment like mine cannot be secret. Mine is no childish fault. No sin, no nastiness concealed behind a bathroom door. No sin of prurient virtue practices licking the silence from its lips like sugar afterwards. Mine is flagrant, worthy of death, of many deaths, of shame and loss, hurt, indignities such as these, such as these. Speak of the sin I must have sinned, to suffer what you see me suffer.
Do we need to name our sins, to know the need to be forgiven? Repent, my son, repent.
I sit here such as you see me. In my soul I suffer what you guess I suffer. Teach me the wickedness that justifies it. Shall I repent of sins I have not sinned to understand it? Till I die, I will not violate my integrity!
Your integrity! Your integrity? What integrity have you? A man, a miserable, mortal, sinful, venal man like any other. You squat there, challenging the universe to tell you what your crime is called, thinking because your life was virtuous, it can't be called. It can. Your sin is simple. You were born a man.
What is my fault? What have I done?
What is your fault? Man's heart is evil. What have you done? Man's will is evil. Your fault, your sin, are heart and will. The worm at heart, the willful will, corrupted with its foul imagining.
Yours is the cruelest comfort of them all, making the creator of the universe the miscreator of humankind, a party to the crimes he punishes, making my sin a horror
a deformity.
If it were otherwise, we could not bear it. Without the fault, without the fall, we're madmen. All of us are madmen. Without the fall, we're madmen all. We watch the stars that creep and crawl.
Like dying flies across the wall of night.
And shriek, and that is all. Without the fall.
God, my God, my God, answer me! I cry out of wrong, but I am not heard. I cry aloud, but there is no judgment. Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. But I will maintain mine own ways before him. Oh, that I knew where I might find him, that I might come even to his seat. I would fill my mouth with arguments. I would order my cause before him. Behold, I go forward, he's not there. Backward, but I cannot perceive him.
Who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge? Where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy? Hast thou commanded the morning? Hast thou entered into the springs of the sea? Or hast thou walked in the search of the depth? Have the gates of death been opened to thee? Where is the way where light dwelleth? And as for darkness, where is the place thereof? Hast thou entered into the treasures of the snow? By what way is the light parted which scattereth the east wind upon the earth? Canst thou bind the sweet influences of the Pleiades? Hast thou given the horse strength? Hast thou clothed his neck with thunder? He saith among the trumpets, Ha ha! He smelleth the battle afar off, the thunder of the captains and the shouting. Doth the eagle mount up at thy command? Her eyes behold afar off. Her young ones also suck up blood. And where the slain are, there is she. Shall he that contendeth with the Almighty instruct him? He that reproveth God, let him answer it.
Behold, I am vile. With what shall I answer you? I will lay my hand upon my mouth.
Gird up thy loins like a man. I will demand of thee, and declare thou unto me. Wilt thou disannul my judgment? Wilt thou condemn me, that thou mayest be righteous? Hast thou an arm like God? Or canst thou thunder with a voice like him? Deck thyself now with majesty and excellency, and array thyself with glory and beauty. Then will I also confess unto thee that thine own right hand can save thee.
I know that thou canst do everything, and that no thought can be withholden from thee. Who is he that hideth counsel without knowledge? Therefore have I uttered that I understood not. Things too wonderful for me, which I knew not. Hear, I beseech thee, and I will speak. I have heard of thee with the hearing of the ear, but now mine eyes seeth thee. Wherefore, I
abhor myself and repent.
Well, that's that.
That's that.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
You don't look pleased.
Should I?
Well, you were right, weren't you?
Oh, of course I was right.
Anyway, you were magnificent.
Thank you. Why did you say that?
What did I say?
Why did you say it like that?
Like what?
Anyway, you were magnificent.
You know, anyway, regardless.
Regardless of what?
Now, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. You were magnificent. I said so.
Go on, finish it. Regardless of?
Being right, of course. What's gotten into you, my friend? What's eating you? Being magnificent and being right don't go together in this universe. It's being wrong. Desperate stubbornness, fighting inextinguishable stars, excites imagination. You were right, you knew it, and were admirable. Notwithstanding, regardless, anyway.
Do you notice?
Of course I noticed. What lover of the art could fail to? Noticed what?
That tone, that look he gave me.
Oh, he misconceived the part entirely.
Misconceived the world, buggered it.
Giving in like that, whimpering.
Giving in? You call that arrogant, smiling, supercilious humility, giving in to God?
Arrogant. His suppurating flesh, his children. Let's not talk about those children. Everything he ever had. And all he asks are answers to the universe. All he asks are the reasons why. Why? Why? And God replies to him. God comes whirling in the wind, replying, what? That God knows more than he does. That God is more powerful than he is. Throwing the whole creation at him. The power and the glory. What's the power to a man trampled beneath it like a toad already? What's the glory to a skin that stinks? And this ham actor, what does he do? How does he play Job to that? Thank you, I'm a worm. Take two. Plays it the way a pious, contemptible sheep would play it. Not even without the spunk to spit on Christmas. Well, you said he would. You're right, I'm wrong. You win. God always wins. Where'd I put that popcorn?
Wind. Planets, Pleiades and eagles. Screaming horses, scales of light. The wonder and mystery of the universe. The unimaginable might of things. Immeasurable knowledge in the waters, somewhere wandering their ways. Searchless power burning on a hearth of stars. Beauty beyond the field of fingers. Marvel beyond the maze of mind. The whole creation. And God showed him. God stood stooping there to show him. Last Orion, least seashell. And what did Job do? Job just sat there, dumb, until it ended. And then you heard him. He calmed me. He gentled me the way a farmhand gentles a bulging, bugling bull. He forgave me for the world, for everything.
Nonsense. He repented, didn't he? The perfect and the upright man. He repented.
That's just it. He repented. It was him. Not the fear of God,
fear.
But him.
Fear of God? Of course. Well, why wouldn't he fear of God with all his stars and stallions? He with the little children's bones?
As though his suffering were justified, not by the will of God, but by Job's acceptance of God's will.
Well, what did you hope for? Hallelujahs?
In spite of all he had suffered, in spite of all he had lost and loved, he understood and forgave it.
What other victory could God win? The choice is swallow this swill of world or vomit in the trough. Job swallowed it. That's your triumph, that he swallowed it.
He had heard of God. Then he saw him. Who's the judge in judgment there? Who's the hero? God or him? Is God to be forgiven?
Isn't he? Job was innocent, you may remember. The perfect and the upright man.
Don't start that again. I'm sick of it.
You are.
I am sick to death. I'd rather sell balloons to children. Lights! Turn those lights on, can't you? You want to see me break my neck? Lights! Lights! That's not the end of it.
Why isn't that the end of it? It's over. Job has chosen how to choose. You made your vow. You want another?
You know as well as I, therefore, there's always one more act. No matter who plays Job or how he plays him, God restores him in the end.
God restores us all. That's normal. That's God's mercy to mankind. We never asked him to be born. We never chose the lives we die of. They beat our rumps to make us breathe. But God, if we have suffered patiently, borne it in silence, stood the stench, rewards us, gives us our dirty selves back.
Souls back.
Selves, dirty selves that we've known too well and never wanted.
Oh, that's not this play.
Hell, it isn't.
God restores him here on earth.
Oh, so Job gets his back in cash. How generous. What percentage off for cash?
He gets back all he ever had and more, much more.
His wife, his children.
He gets his wife back and his children follow in nature's course.
You're lying.
I'm not lying.
I say you're lying.
Why should I lie? It's in the book.
Wife back balls. You wouldn't touch her. You wouldn't take her with a glove. After all that filth and blood and fury. To begin again, this fetid earth, that frightened heaven, terrified to trust the soul it made with its own hands, but testing it, tasting it, by trial, by torture, over and over, until every last least town on this reeling, reeking earth stinks with a spiritual agony. And stains the stones with excrement that show through in shadows on each greasy curtain. After life like his to take up the seat of the sad creation, planning the hopeful world again, he can't. He won't. He wouldn't touch her.
He does, though.
Live his life again? Even the most ignorant, obstinate, stupid, or degraded man this filthy planet ever pharaohed, offered the opportunity to live his bodily life twice over, would accept it. Least of all Job, poor trampled beast. It can't be born twice over. It can't be.
It is, though. Time and again it is. Every blessed generation. Time and again. Time and again.
JB.
Let me alone.
It's me. I'm not the father. I'm the friend.
I have no friend.
Oh, come off it. You don't have to act with me. Okay, carry on. All I wanted was to help. Professional counseling, you might call it. Of course, you know how all this ends. I wondered how you'd play the end.
Who knows what the end is?
I do. You do.
Then don't tell me.
What's the worst thing you can think of?
I've asked for death, begged for it.
Then the worst thing can't be death.
Oh.
You know now.
No, you tell me.
Why should I tell you when you already know?
Then don't! I'm sick of mysteries, sick of them!
He gives it all back.
What back?
All of it, everything he took. Wife, health, children, everything.
I have no wife.
She comes back.
I have no children.
Oh, you'll have better ones.
My skin is...
Oh, come off that. I know the look of grease paint when I see it.
Oh. It's healed.
See? See what I mean? See the past plan for you? Tell me how you play the end. Any man was screwed the way Job was. I'll tell you how you play it. Listen. Think of all those mucked up millions since this buggered world began. Said no. Said thank you. Took a rope's end. Took a window for a door. Swallowed something. Gagged on something. None of them knew the truth as Job does. None of them had his cause to know.
Listen. Do you hear? There's someone.
Job won't take it. Job won't touch it. Job will fling it in God's face with half his guts to make it spatter. He'd rather suffocate in dung, choke in ordure.
There's someone waiting at the door.
I know.
Who is it?
Is someone there?
Sarah.
Look, Joe. The forsythia. The first few leaves. Not leaves, though. Petals.
Get out!
Where shall I go?
Where you went. Wherever where.
Among the ashes. All there is now of the town is ashes. Mountains of ashes. Shattered glass. Glittering cliffs of glass all shattered. Steeper than a cat could climb, if there were cats still. And the pigeons, they wheel and settle and whirl off, wheeling and almost settling. And the silence. There is no sound there now. No wind sound. Nothing can sound the wind, can make it sing. No door, no doorway. Only this. Among the ashes, I found it growing in the ashes, gold as though it did not know. I broke the branch to strip the leaves off. Petals again, but they so clung to it.
Curse God and die, you said to me.
Yes, you wanted justice, didn't you? There isn't any. There's the world. Cry for justice and the stars will stare until your eyes sting. Weep. Enormous winds will thrash the water. Cry and sleep for your lost children. Snow will fall. Snow will fall.
Why did you leave me alone?
I loved you, and I couldn't help you anymore. You wanted justice, and there is none, only love.
He does not love. He is.
We do. That's the wonder.
Yet you left me.
Yes, I left you. I thought there was a way away. Water under bridges opens, closing, and the companion stars still float there afterwards. Thought the door opened in the closing waters.
Sarah, Sarah.
I never could. I never could. Even the forsythia beside the stair could stop me.
It's too dark to see.
And blow on the coal of the heart, my darling.
The coal of the heart?
It's all the light now. The candles in churches are out. The lights have gone out in the sky. But blow on the coal of the heart, and we'll see by and by. We'll see where we are. The wick won't burn. The wet soul smolders, but blow on the coal of the heart, and we'll know. We'll know.